Okay, welcome to Kikao Podcast episode number 2. My name is Abdi Ahmed, and today our guest is Stephanie Njeri. Steph, karibu sana.
Thank you so much for having me up here.
To get an overview of Stephanie, who is Stephanie Njeri?
I'm Stephanie Njeri.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my mid-20s, a continuous life crisis. But all in all, a BA Sociology and Psychology graduate from Kenyatta University. I'm a community development expert,
Wow.
as well as a agribusiness manager.
Community development expert. Is
Yes.
that where Wazi Foundation came from?
Absolutely.
Okay. What is Wazi?
Oh, Wazi is my baby. It's
Uh-huh.
my first baby.
Okay.
I started this initiative when I was in KU, year 3. At first, it started because I thought, like, young people in the university, you're getting a lot of freedom for the first time. So everyone is always going off the rails, and it's so nice until it's not. And is the line between it's so nice until it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit blurred. So it just started coming up as, can we meet with a couple of people and kind of figure out, as young people, where are we, how are we doing? And then everything just blew up from there.
So that's how it started.
Yeah.
So what does Wazi stand for? What does it do?
Wazi is a Swahili name translating to openness. So by Wazi it means we are open to everything and we are open to anyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I recently saw one of your activities that you were delivering pads for kids.
Yeah.
So why do you feel like we need to do that? Isn't it supposed to be like free all over? Because it doesn't make sense.
Well, it's not just actually delivering pads per se.
Mm-hmm.
Menstrual hygiene is a key objective of Wazi,
Mm-hmm.
in line with education as well as advocacy.
Yeah.
We decided to go with menstrual hygiene because, first of all, as a girl, that is something that is dear to me. And additionally, as women, we are constantly talking about sexual and reproductive health as well as hygiene, menstrual hygiene. And once you come and think about it from your primary years, when you're starting menstruation to where you are right now, you probably think there are few things that if you knew or if you had information about prior, you'd probably be well informed or just make better choices across
Yeah.
the board.
Mm-hmm.
But our menstrual hygiene, rather our sexual and reproductive health program, is not particularly for girls and the period products. We also include boys. So menstrual hygiene right now is currently a big thing, especially in urban informal areas. So girls miss out of school, and the prices of pads are going up. I mean, owing to the
Yeah,
economy,
yeah, mhm.
and people are going into other options which are affecting them health-wise, and especially as a young girl, when that messes with you at a young age, it could have a long-lasting effect and mess up with your reproductive hygiene as well, your fertility. So it's just a lot of things that are building up from one small thing.
So
Yeah.
is there like a superstition? For instance, let me give an example. Tukiwa primary school, at some point tulikuwa tunamboga every boy kwa hii class atoke nje, sawa, and then they would distribute the parts kwa wasichana, which is perfectly fine for me, sawa.
Yeah.
But by doing so, there's a certain message una send kwa ule msichana, like this thing is supposed to be like this, right? It's supposed to be hidden, it's not supposed to be known, it's not supposed to. So with that, somebody mtu kama mimi, if I ever encounter a situation kama hiyo, I'd definitely panic because I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So now question yangu ni kwa nini, why does this menstrual, like this is the most natural thing that can ever happen to a human being, treated in a way as if it's the most wrong thing that is supposed to happen to people? Kiasi ya people like you and your organizations, and I'm sure a lot of people do the same thing.
Yeah.
You need to have a way of awareness ya ku make sure these guys wamepata the kind of education. Isn't it supposed to be like an upbringing, like if you're raising a kid, and I'm not saying for the ones in wajakuwa, lakini nasema like generally it's supposed to be part of school.
Yeah.
They teach people that this is how you do, this is normal, this happens, there's a scientific reason behind it. So when it comes to that age where huo mtoto akifika the age yenye anaanza kupata the menstrual period yake, it's easy to manage for her instead of acting as if it's a taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we going to edge towards that?
Well, I think it's basically rooted in us as culture. Our cultures for sure, they stigmatize the whole
Yeah.
menstruation process. And you find even some girls can't do things when they're on their period, and it's not si ugonjwa na si disability.
Yeah, najua,
Well,
yeah.
zingine zinakujanga na intensity ya people actually have to go to hospital, and some people even take days off from work, but all that culture, and partially being a patriarchal society, with men leading. I mean, you also hear kila saa, hata pia you with your friends when you joke around it, mtu akianza kuwa emotional, kwani kwa msichana on your period, yeah, so
Unanyesha.
unanyesha. So you see hiyo view ya the whole patriarchal society and culture kind of contributes to it equally. Sisi kama wanawake, and also us as organizations, mine included,
Yeah.
we are not doing right by just educating the girl child towards it. Similar case to the girl child empowerment. We are empowering the girl child, na boy child ako tu hapo.
Yeah.
So like this needs to be a joint effort in order for us to achieve success. That's why we've started incorporating boys towards it.
The program.
Yeah, as much as the girls are still also a bit shy when the boys are there, and even when the boys are there, you see them dipping on a hide.
Other than the menstrual health which you just mentioned, there's also education, there's also other mental health things that there's menstrual health and there's mental health.
Yes.
And then there's education, and
Yeah.
all these things has been like they're all under Wazi Foundation.
Yes.
And everybody that is in Wazi Foundation basically volunteers to be part of the Wazi Foundation.
Yeah.
Can I get what motivates you guys, especially you who started the Wazi Foundation?
Well, in all honesty, I'm passionate about my course of my study area. First of all, I quit school from doing first after high school. I quit school from uni at Moi because I was doing something totally different. And once I interacted with a couple, I took a gap year out and I went to City Hall to work, volunteering and doing child-friendly spaces as similar to the ones we were doing at K-Youth.
Yeah.
So while I was there, I realized, honestly, I'm very passionate about my community. I'm passionate about my country. I'm passionate about my peers as well, especially my peers. I feel like no one goes harder for us than we should be doing for ourselves. And this is a time that we're actually getting into these spaces where decisions are being made. And I believe we should be there. We don't tusicheze ndogo because, watu wengine wako hapo and they have resources and they have, we've been given access to the internet. Make it your best friend and make it your ally and make it your weapon that you're going to use to get your information across.
I really like that approach because personally, I really don't understand people, especially our leaders, who say things and they don't act upon it. So it's really nice. It's empowering kuona somebody your age mate, your age bracket and stuff, actually taking actions kujaribu kuchange the community. We build from there tukienda all the way to the country.
Yes.
I think this is the vision that sisi wote tunafaa tukuwe nayo, especially the young people. And nicely speaking, statistics, I don't know kama ni ukweli, but it shows that the younger generation,
Yeah.
plus the Gen Zs,
Of course.
these guys are the one who are going to impact the change that imekuwa kingojo for the last 60 years, right? We've been independent for like 60 years. So I'm sure it'll come eventually.
Yeah.
But for now, let's start with us, right? So
Yeah.
that is the whole idea of starting Wazi, to impact that change.
Yeah.
From education to all these other things and
Yeah.
dealing with. I really like that. Can we talk about your business?
Okay. I have Uko Farm Products. Uko Farm Products is a value addition agribusiness enterprise. Initially, when I started Uko, it was over 2020 and everyone was having COVID and shutdown and whatnot. And Nairobi was having a lot of shortage with
Yeah.
food. So my first thought was, tuko na shamba, niende nikalime. Bro, sijaichomwa hivyo. Yeah, it was absolutely terrible. But nikiwa huko, I got a learning opportunity.
Experience,
Yeah. Like I interacted with other farmers, not just one, a lot. And I realized these people have equally the same options. They're planting, but they don't have market. So why can't I come in on the side of market? And then you'd find like acres and acres of cauliflower, lettuce, zimeharibikia tu kwa shamba. People don't know how to value add. Mahoho zimeharibikia kwa shamba. These red peppers and the yellow ones zimeharibikia kwa shamba.
I didn't even know zinakwanga za yellow.
And then ukikam to Nairobi, these things are like 70 bob, 100 bob, sijui nini, and you're like, wait. Same to avocado and avocado oil. Avocados are being fed to cows huko ushago. Unakuja Nairobi, avocado moja 50 bob, 70 bob. You go to coast 100. You go abroad 600, prices in a vary. And simply because of something so simple, value addition. So I saw opportunity iko hapo. And then kuna information tu enye unaweza pata online, and basic information pia if you do your groundwork vizuri unaweza pata. So with that, I started on value addition. I organized units of women, especially rural women and young people in the rural areas. They farm. I buy from them. We wash, we dry. If these vitu za roasting, vitu ka soybeans ni za kuroastiwa, we roast, we grind, we package, and we sell them on e-commerce sites such as Gigi. We are on Jumia. We are using social media sites. We are using Mkulima Young. So as I say, technology is your friend.
So that's how you started?
Yes.
How much did it cost you?
I did crowdfunding. So I gave on the Mchanga crowdfunding platform, and everyone gave me like 20K. But like in total, I got like 20K within my first period of crowdfunding.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the money I used for my first test run. And honestly, it didn't disappoint.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you also created an opportunity for the guys in Ushago
and
to sell their product.
Yeah, and then shortly after, like Daily Nation reached out to do an article on me, as well as Taifa Leo. And the thing is just, at the time, mind you, I didn't buy any machinery.
Mm-hmm.
I just had the idea, and I outsourced my contracts. So if it's grind, I went and found some place where they grind. If it is to wash and process, I sourced out like tuko na space home. So I organized a couple of people. When hizi vitu zikikuja zinafanywa hivi na hivi, there are open fire pits, vitu zinaroastiwa. We go vitu za kudrywa zinadrywa, and then we go and package, we go and grind them, and then we package them, we brand them, and then sasa we post them on markets.
And you did all that?
Yes.
So what about the sales? How was the sales?
Hey, I sold out. What do you mean?
That's the first time?
Yes, I sold out. And after that, it was just like, okay, now we're going the whole way with it.
Yeah.
And now, like, we started with just ginger and soybeans and garlic. Yes, those are the first 3 things we started with. Now our catalog is up to 27 items.
Right now,
talking about even masalas, chicken masala, beef masala, black pepper, turmeric, paprika, cayenne.
And we're gonna put all this to the link below so that you can get anything to buy from Steph. They're almost organic, right?
Yeah, some of them are organic.
Uh-huh.
Yes, but we are working on being 100%
Organic.
Yes.
For the climate change and everything.
Yes, good for the environment.
Yes.
We're going green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So what is your advice on people when they go to school, they get degree, and then they all wait years and years and years for employment, and this something like an opportunity like that one? How can you advise people like that to like do the same thing, especially the young guys?
Honestly, I believe, like if you go to school and then we were waiting for employment, uko tu kwa nyumba, and that happens to a lot of us.
A lot of people, yeah.
I know, hata pia mimi, before I got to that point where I decided to take initiative, nilikuwa nangoja, applying for jobs, and it's not easy. Every other day you're applying for jobs, hata by the time una realize you applied for something and want to me a rejection email, you don't even remember what this opportunity was for.
Because it took so long before they responded even.
Yeah, and like sign connections.
I know.
So we are out here fighting for ourselves, especially sisi wenye tumepatiwa the opportunity ya education. So education really shouldn't be to train you to go into employment per se.
Which right now it is.
Yes.
Which is my biggest problem at the moment. Because I swear, tukiwa uni we're being taught kama unafanya computer science, we're being taught to do things that is actually in the current market, right? For development. So unaambiwa ukifanya hii stuff you need to apply job for this company, they require people with this kind of skills.
Yeah.
But they never say when you get this kind of skills, this is how you can utilize the skills to make it,
Yeah.
yako jitengeneze pesa. And that is my biggest problem, and that is why I champion people like you who start your own business regardless of how small it is.
Yeah.
And yes, it's hard, especially the finances. It's really, really hard. But
Absolutely.
once it kickstarts, I'm telling you, it's something nice. Doing things on your own terms. You've been doing this for how long? Since 2020?
Yeah.
Since COVID?
Yeah.
And I'm sure with time, you're still growing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, at first I started with crowdfunding platform at 20K. We just released, 2 months ago, we released our annual review where we had made 116K.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and we went from like just my friends buying to now I'm even shipping abroad. Clients are asking for things abroad. And we are even getting market from small business to businesses. I'm selling to catering companies. I'm selling to probably someone who has a small kitchen that they're working on.
Yeah.
I'm selling to people with a cocktail bar. We're not just doing back to housing anymore. Like I sell to a household setup. We're going the whole way. It's starting to expand.
So right now the structure is only online.
Yeah.
There's no physical shop at the moment.
At the moment, we're not doing any physical shop. We are doing warehousing with Sandy. So most of the things, delivery, we are young people.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I know,
convenience,
yeah.
use the things you have to your advantage. So Sandy, the delivery is quite affordable. Unless someone wants the delivery like immediately, which will have to use probably someone like Bolt or Uber, a rider, to make deliveries. But otherwise, we do warehousing with Sandy, who are also very affordable.
Yeah.
And they are very reliable, and the products, how they're setting up our products, are equally up to standard. So I trust them with my things. I give them my inventory. If I have orders, I just place orders on my phone. They're going to the customer pays, and
They'll send you.
Yeah.
So when you said when you started you had to mobilize people from Shago from Shags
Yeah.
to come up and create a system. Has it increased the number of people that you're now working with kwenye shamba?
Yes, it has. I started with some 5 people, 2 women wenye walikuwa wananilimia sana. They did some chilies and they did bell peppers, hoho. And then at the time we were also going on the 10% land restoration with the environment. So we had also recruited a couple of guys from Meru to do nurseries. So we had around 1,200 seedlings, and seedlings with time zingine zinakufa, but pia zingine zimeuzwa, and we're getting back into that, although we had faced that out for a little bit because of the distance logistics, Meru, Nairobi, Nakuru, Naivasha. Yeah, it was a lot to handle at the moment with zero manpower. I'm the only one on the road doing all this work.
Yeah.
So I decided to kind of deal with one thing at a time. That's why I decided to structure into herbs and spices only
At the moment.
Yeah,
Right.
but right now I have around 6 women who are
Wow, from 2
Yeah.
to 6.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a small increase, but it's
I know.
very nice.
You see it as small increase, but I see it as
because they understand what I need from them when I say I need organic farming. I come and teach them about, I've done a course in agribusiness management, and we've done organic farming, hydroponics, all those aspects. So when I talk to them about it and I let them know this is how I need you to do things, and they tell me, mami, hatuwezi pata, ama hatujui venye tutafanya, I go out of my way, I source it for them, and I give it to them for them to go the whole way with work on it.
Yeah.
And they understand if we've agreed not to spray my products.
That's how you're edging towards organic 100%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, although sometimes like some of them fell out because of that. Tunaambia mtu vizuri sana, hizi dania ukipanda usizispray, wachana tu nazo zimewe, mwaga maji nini, I mean itashughulika, I'll buy them from you hivyo zikiwa organic. But wanaona when it's about zinaanza kusprout nini, when they leave them to nature and everything to their output in a reduce, and they want money, so they ended up spraying our crops, and vitu zinakuja unapata tu.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
here we go again.
Okay.
Yeah, so that has been a big challenge that I've been working with. I'm trying to have the women that I'm organizing actually believe in organic farming kabisa, and uzuri ni hawa watu wa ushago pia si kama huku Nairobi, mchanga kidogo DAP, mchanga kidogo sijui sheka nini, dawa gani ushakimbia agrovet, you're spraying it on your crops and nini
Yeah.
nini, so they're at least a bit open. And I'm able to at least convince them to leaning towards more of the organic farming practices.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your biggest challenge so far, both Wazi and Ukofam?
Wow. Okay, for Wazi at the moment, I'm having a problem with registration. My God. CBO registration should really be taking a lot of this time and process and energy and money. But, every other time unatumwa kwa hii ofisi ya social development, you go, wanakutuma Nyayo house, you go meet the big person huko, anakutuma huku kwingine. A lot of bureaucratic processes, and then wanasema it's about the regime change. Kenyans tunapenda kufanya vitu tu zingine zikuwe complicated when they are not. So by e-registration, the more in a delay, we are losing opportunities kama za funding, za capacity building, kwa sababu you find some people who want to train your volunteers, your members, wanataka watrainiwe in certain things kama vitu kama probably HIV and AIDS, capacity building in probably issues kama recycling, like sorting plastics and how to actually recycle them. Unapata opportunities za leadership. But the moment hatuna certification, we are credible, our work is on social media, everyone knows that iko hapo, but the moment hatuna hiyo karatasi, yani tuko tu.
So it makes everything
absolutely difficult.
Yeah.
That is my biggest challenge
with the Wazi. Yeah.
Yeah, if I can just get my community-based organization certificate ready, which they had said it will be ready next month, this month already shaanza. So next week I'm supposed to visit their offices from February. Mind you, and the people since November waiting for their papers bado. Doesn't make sense at all. It's just a simple piece of paper, just tupatieni our license, allow us to operate. We've been here, our chief ameshakubali. So we were with you at the chief that day. Our chief ashakubali, anajua we operating here. Hizi ndio vitu tunafanya. So all this shouldn't be a bureaucratic process up and down, nini. And then Kenya tumezoea kitu kidogo here and there. I believe people should, umekwa job, just do your job, unalipwa hapo.
Do it right.
Yeah, pia sisi pali tuko job, and we're just doing it how we can. If your job opportunity haijaku allow to grow, find a job opportunity that will allow you to grow. Kwa sababu mambo ya hongo here, hongo there. I mean, tutatoa. Sitakata, we need these papers. Tutatoa, but that's just not the way to go.
It's not right also.
Yeah, it's not the way to go, especially sisi for young people. Hatuna resources to that extent. Someone who's bigger can come with an NGO register na 17K. Sisi wengine wadogo we have 6K because we're depending on member contributions. We are depending on our crowdfunding platforms na angel investors. Like family, also my family supports me a lot.
Yeah.
So you find some programs in a come up and I don't have money, and I just go back to them, let them know, my program is happening this and this day. I'm probably going to need this amount of money. Sisi as a group, we've been able to raise this amount of money, and my family will equate it or something similar to that.
And that so far hasn't broken your heart?
I mean, it does. It really does, because I really don't understand what the problem is, and the government is always telling you, wewe fanya, hakuna kazi, fungua kazi yako.
Na kufungua kazi pia ni ngumu.
Yeah, tumefungua kazi yetu, ndio hii sasa tuko pale kwa registration. Tuko hapo, the bureaucratic process is so extra, and it shouldn't be that much. Hadi when you're talking to investors and donors from abroad, they keep on looking at you and wondering, you people are just jokers. And then this mentality for Kenyans, venye watu wameanza kuwa watapeli. So everyone anakuangalia, you is your organization, are you really there? And sometimes you venye pia nasema missing out on opportunities, hata funding opportunities. It's not even for me, but even for the kids that we are working with. At this point, people are depending on these things to go to school. People are depending on these classes, and we can't be able to have our sessions as often as possible because of something so little, a certificate.
Yeah.
So our government really needs to improve on that. You all are doing well so far. Uko obviously registration as a young person na Kenya na kitu kidogo. Of course, it's a bit of a challenge. However, you can always hack it by probably getting into incubations programs. and as well as registering under a network. However, I just needed a certification for myself,
Uh-huh.
and especially with the organic certification, that's also crucial. So we have to be 100% organic. Also, I'm having a challenge with my primary producers, who are my farmers. We agree on organic free products, but mtu anaona akilima hizo vitu ni kidogo, so anapiga dawa huko nini,
Yeah.
and then your products zinakam already kama zishateintiwa.
So what advice can you give, ama being a young person, being an entrepreneur, being a socialist, and being all that who you are, what advice would you give young girls, young generation, and everybody, like generally? I don't need to specify girls peke yake, na wenye wamegraduate, wenye wajagraduate, wenye wanataka kusoma and everything.
Yeah, so my advice firstly is for young people to get education. Education necessarily isn't formal education, ya shule. There's apprenticeship, you can do volunteers. All these are things that will give you experience. Experience and exposure, I find, is the best thing ever to happen to young people. Because once you have that, you can find ground and probably align it with your passion and then work from there. And not necessarily that your passion every time should be paying you, but if you're passionate about something, I can highly suggest that you follow that path.
It's also
And,
good for your mental health.
Yes, very much. Rather than waking up 8 to 5 every day, hating a job you're going to up to Saturday, Monday to
Yeah.
Saturday, yeah, do something you like. I like doing my job. It's flexible. I'm passionate about my job. Of course, from time to time, the money is a problem, but money is always coming and going. So we just need to figure out how to make it stable. And with time, hizo pieces fall in place. So get your education, not necessarily formal education, and align your passion with what you want to do in the long run. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your time. Really enjoyed the podcast, and hopefully we can see you again in the future, sindio?
Yes, definitely.
And it's a wrap.